The complete guide to performing the Ashes of the Damned Easter egg solo, round by round, with no Gobblegums. I'll be featuring strats not shown in those day one guides, such as on-demand lightning and early Xursa spawning. As always, my companion notes will be linked in the description below, and feel free to use the chapters to skip around the video. Let's get started. I'm taking an assault rifle as my starting weapon, but it shouldn't matter very much. Aether Shroud and a stun grenade are highly recommended. For augments, Dying Wish is great for quick revive, unless you'd like to bring a pistol as your starting weapon and use equivalent exchange. I'm also taking Iron Core on Juggernog and Extra Charge on Aether Shroud. Here we go. At the start of the game, farm the first 2 rounds here at Janus Towers. As the round flips to 3, follow the waypoint and by the door into the server room. Claim the quick revive loose change, the stun grenade off the table, then melee the grate in the floor to reveal Ted's head. Farm the rest of round 3, then add Ted to Tessie and drive away. As you drive through the fog, avoid the orange plants as they damage and unseat your car. Run over the yellow ones to heal Tessie, as well as earn salvage and essence. As you arrive at Blackwater Lake, hop out of the truck and begin to clear the spores off of the power pump. Once activated, enter the cabin. Claim the Melee Macchiato loose change, the Speed Cola loose change, then cross to flick the power switch. Drop down and run to the kitchen, picking up the jar of spores from the cabinet. Leave zombies alive on this round, and head back out to the truck. Drive from Blackwater to Ashwood. Leave the truck next to the garage, then cross and take the zipline up. Claim the Vulture Aid loose change, buy through to Judgment Square. Claim the Double Tap loose change, then buy to the bridge. Clear out the pump and power on Ashwood. Drop down afterwards and approach the garage to open it up. Drive Tessie into the garage, then interact with the bench to attach the Pack-a-Punch machine at the hitch. The final power station is at Farm, but we're going to visit exit 115 first. Drive past the bridge and take the right pathway, making your way to exit 115. Open the door to Reba's Diner, claim the Elemental Pop loose change, grab the Combat Axe on the stovetop inside, then go ahead and flip the round to 5. This is our first possible Ravager round. Now that the diner is open, a special cook zombie will spawn out of the bathroom. Eliminating the zombie will drop a freezer key. Pick it up, then interact with the freezer to expose the abomination carcass inside. Ignore all zombies in the round, and look to stay on 5 here. Drive Tessie back to Ashwood. If Tessie is damaged, or if you would like to, upgrade Tessie by attaching the abomination carcass, giving the truck a laser beam ability. Do be careful though about running over zombies and accidentally flipping your round. We want to stay as low as possible for the time being. Peel out and take the right side exit to the farm. As you arrive, hop out and interact with this horse, placing the jar of spores inside the body. We will now have to wait 3 rounds for the item to transform. This is why we try to prioritize staying on round 5 here. While at the farm, clear out the 3rd and final power pump, then buy into the barn. Head upstairs and turn the power on, then cross the upper level to claim the Death Perception loose change. To claim the Human Foot ingredient, start by throwing a Combat Axe at the right foot of the central hanging zombie. When it falls, the next step is to burn it with a Molotov. You can either buy one at the crafting table, or head back to Ashwood, with a free Molotov on the barrel outside of the garage. Round 8 is our next target round for action, so I recommend staying here in the Ashwood Valley to farm, eventually pack-a-punching your primary, upgrading its rarity, buying Double Tap, and buying Jug. Return to Tessie and drive back to the farm on round 8, claiming the Widow's Lantern fungus from the dead horse. With your Molotov, throw it atop the human foot to burn the skin off, claiming the skeletal remains. Continue on through the gate back towards Janus Towers. Whenever you're driving, look out for purple plants. Breaking one of these plants with Tessie's beam attack will yield rewards, and the first time you do so, you'll also receive the Hoard Husk Chunks item, one of our Serum ingredients. It's now time to unlock the map wonder weapon, the Necrofluid Gauntlet. Anytime on or after round 8, approaching this pod on the edge of the map will release an Uberklaus. Take out the mech, and then the core to drop a stabilizer chip on the ground. If it gets stuck under debris for any reason and you aren't able to grab it, flipping the round respawned the chip in the middle of the road for me. Hop into the truck and make your way back to Ashwood, zipping up to the sheriff's office and buying in to find Cold War Klaus in a cell. Interact to insert the stabilizer chip. The screen will say update requires restart. To do this, throw 2 stun grenades back to back through the cell bars. Klaus being double stunned is what wakes him up, giving you a free first companion usage. Immediately turn around and get back to the truck, driving under the bridge and to the left to head towards Zarya Cosmodrome. When you arrive, by the door into support systems and direct Klaus to the computer on the wall. If you have enough essence, feel free to buy Wisp Tea while you're here. When you're ready, return to the computer and interact to begin a challenge. You'll be tasked with staying within the red scan ring while zombies approach you. You have 1 minute to stand still for at least 20 seconds. On completion, the window will slide down and an Aether Barrel will be available for pickup. Bring it on out to the truck, do buy Wisp Tea before leaving, then make your way back towards Ashwood. Pass through and take the left path back to Blackwater Lake. With the Aether Barrel, bring it to the power pump and place it in the receptacle. Energy will slowly extract, during which you don't actually have to fight any zombies. On completion, the barrel will be available to grab, but will also decay energy over time. Hop back into the truck and drive back to Ashwood. Grab the barrel, take the nearby zipline up, then head to the power pump and repeat the extraction process. Once that one completes, grab the barrel back, hop back down, and head to farm for the final power pump. Complete the ritual, then grab the barrel and bring it to the basement of the house. Interact with the cube there to deposit the barrel's energy. The 3 runic sides of the cube will need to be set to specific symbols. To discover these symbols, take a jump pad to or from Vandoorn Farm. While in the air, note the red symbols on the 3 buildings. In my game, I refer to them as Umbrella, Circle Dot, and Circle Tail. While you're at Janus Towers, look to buy Quick Revive if you have the funds. Jump back if you need to, then return to the cube. Interact with the sides until all 3 are set appropriately, then interact with the eye at the front. After a moment, the Necrofluid Gauntlet will be available to claim. After doing so, you're forced into a small tutorial. On PC at least, fire to send out a spike shot, then reload to recall your spikes. Use this attack pattern to eliminate the necrofluid spores that spawn around you. After 6 have been eliminated, you're free to go. With the gauntlet literally in hand, the only next step is to grab all possible serum ingredients along with the base powder. For the powder, head to Judgment Square with the Wisp Tea perk equipped. Farm until the wisp spawns, then run into the tailor shop to guide it to the mirror that's there. Once the mirror reveals its content, shoot it once with the gauntlet to break it, dropping the Powder of the Forgotten after just a moment. With the powder acquired, the serum has 5 possible ingredients. Ingredient 1 is the Widow's Lantern, acquired earlier from the Jar of Spores at Blackwater, into the Horse at Farm, and retrieved after 3 rounds. Ingredient 2 is the Mysterious Limb. To claim this, you'll have to eliminate a Zursa with the Abomination Beam attack on Tessie. A Zursa spawns naturally on round 16, but to do so earlier, head to Zarya with an unpacked Necrofluid Gauntlet for a side Easter egg. Enter the support systems, then beneath this wall by, shoot the skull and retract a gauntlet shot to light the skull green. Continue to the Flame Trench, claim the PhD Loose Change, then at the zip line, look out the window to shoot and retract a second skull on a beam. Zip up, then just inside a hole at the front is our 3rd and final skull. A special Zursa will spawn down below and take a zip up to meet you. Bring the Zursa low, but do not kill it. If it's getting low, avoid the weak spots to prevent a sudden burst of damage. When it's on death's door, kite it to be in front of Tessie, then run back, hop in, and fire the beam attack while moving backwards. This ensures the Zursa does not take truck impact damage or abomination chomp damage. If done correctly, a mysterious limb will drop. If you fail, you'll have to wait for a natural Zursa to try again, or hope this ingredient is not necessary to make your recipe. Ingredient 3 is a pair of Ravager's Eyes. To claim these, use a saw blade trap found either at exit 115, Ashwood, or farm on a Ravager at any point. This is easiest to do either on a Ravager round, or any round after 8 or so when one starts to spawn pretty regularly. Ingredient 4 is the Hoard Husk chunks acquired earlier from the Abomination Carcass at exit 115, then a purple plant in the fog. Ingredient 5 is the human foot, acquired earlier by using a combat axe, then a Molotov at the farm. You will only need 3 of the 5 ingredients for this next step, but we don't yet know which. Head to Zarya Laboratory and buy into Yuri's lab. Interact with the powder to reveal your recipe. On the chalkboard will be 3 words encrypted with a pigpen cipher. Thankfully, each of these words starts with a distinct letter, so here is the cheat sheet. The L symbol represents conch, that is the Hoard Husk chunk. The C symbol represents fungi, that is the Widow's Lantern mushroom. The L dot symbol represents limbs, that is the mysterious limb from the Zursa. The C dot symbol represents oculi, that is the Ravager Eye. And the greater than symbol represents talos, that is the foot. In my game, I got fungi, oculi, and conch. Interact in the correct order to mix the ingredients. If done correctly, you'll receive a prompt to add blood to the flask. Before you do so, I recommend having my current perk set, level 2 armor, Aether Shroud charges, and a pack-a-punched Necrofluid Gauntlet. There's no point in possibly getting downed during this next section. Interact to begin. During this challenge, you'll be trapped in the lab, and your health will be soft-capped down to 75. I say soft-capped because, with the Necrofluid Gauntlet, you can still overheal. As soon as you regain control, start spamming shots at the various openings around the room, even if zombies haven't spawned yet. Repeatedly cycle shots and recalls to eliminate the Horde and steal their health. That's the important part here. As you can see, that early start has given me almost 100 extra health at its peak. After 25 zombies or so, the purple haze will fill the room, and the ritual will complete. Next are the 3 keys, used to unlock an object back at Ashwood in Judgment Square. Each key has 3 spawns, and when picked up, will imbue you with a unique effect while held. The yellow key spawns in the Zarya to Ashwood crashed rocket section. The spawns are atop the radar building, on the fallen tower, or on the cliffside. To claim the yellow key, fire gauntlet shots in the direction and then recall to pull the key in. The yellow key temporarily takes your weapons. Drive back to Ashwood and leave the truck in the garage to repair. Hop out and zipline up, running either around or through the Juggernog building to interact and unlock our first chain. The green key spawns in the Ashwood to Farm grounded ship section. The spawns are beneath the ship behind some barrels, about mid-ship inside a window, or towards the end of the ship tucked in a blue crate. I recommend using the climb to roof button when you get out of the truck if possible to put a bit more distance between yourself and the fog zombies. Aether Shroud is also an incredibly useful and borderline necessary field upgrade for this sequence. The green key temporarily slows your movement speed to a crawl. Drive back to Ashwood to deposit this key as well. The red key spawns in the Ashwood to Exit 115 Orda Graveyard section. Make sure you have at least 1 Aether Shroud charge before collecting this key. The spawns are at the back of the lower T-Rex skull, in the jaw of the central T-Rex skull, or behind the trucks close to Exit 115. The lower T-Rex spawn can be hard to spot, so if it's not at the other 2, assume it's at this location. Get out, and I recommend as soon as you've gotten on the roof to pop Aether Shroud. Claiming this key will drop your health by 75%, so to avoid instantly going down, go invisible. Drive back to Ashwood to deposit your 3rd and final key, initiating a cutscene. Spoiler skip. Once the cinematic ends, you'll be granted a DG2 Wonderwaff turret to upgrade and place onto Tessie. The final task revolves around the clock tower now floating in Ashwood. Park the truck up a slope, then swap to the turret and shoot the clock tower. A bell will ring out, indicating that the clock tower is available to use. The clock tower will remain available for the rest of this round. Shoot one of the clock faces with the gauntlet, making sure it actually hits the clock and not the brick. Recall that single shot to turn ethereal. You will remain ethereal for roughly 90 seconds, or until you fire your first gauntlet shot. You can turn ethereal 3 times per clock tower. This final task has 4 parts the first 3 of which can be completed in any order. I will recommend and start with Zarya Cosmodrome to begin. With your Aether Charge, drive or jump to Zarya and shoot either of the 2 spinning radar dishes with the Gauntlet. Do be careful not to hit the knob on the end, as that won't count. Return to Ashwood to claim another Aether Charge. Jump back and shoot the second radar to lock it in. With both radars set, enter the control room, preferably with your round thinned down. These 2 TVs will cycle through 3 pairs of Pigpen cipher codes, spelling a 6-letter word. There are 4 possible 6-letter words, those being rocket, launch, weapon, and engine. Use either a Pigpen cipher decoder to solve the puzzle, or pause on each TV screen and check for the following letters. The R dot symbol is the letter R, only present in the word rocket. The upright arrow symbol is the letter G, only present in the word engine. The N symbol is the letter H, only present in the word launch. And the upright arrow dot symbol is the letter P, only present in the word weapon. Once you have your word, you'll have to translate the letters into numbers, with A being 0, B being 1, C being 2, etc. On screen are the 4 combinations. My word is launch, so I'll be using this code. Input the code into the 6 terminals on the far side by shooting the red button when the correct number appears. Take your time, because if you misinput any of these terminals, you will have to shoot every button to submit your attempt, know that it's wrong, fail, and reclaim Aether Charges from the clock tower twice more in order to try again. With the word launch, my code is 11, 0, 20, 13, 2, and 7. On success, your screen will wipe, and the rocket will be released, along with the Zarya Cosmodrome Souls. 1 down, 2 to go. While in the fog, feel free to shoot more purple plants for rewards, as can be seen here by finding a Pack 2 crystal on my way back to Ashwood. To continue, you will have to flip the round to re-enable the clock tower, regardless of if you used it this round. The next challenge we'll do is at Farm, requiring just 1 Aether Charge. When you arrive, buy into the farmhouse and look at the clock on the wall. Based on the time displayed, stand behind whichever skeleton corresponds with that time. There will also be Roman numerals on the ground to better define positioning. If you're being attacked or can't use your secondary, use Aether Shroud to avoid being targeted. Once the father looks at you and his eyes turn red, fire a gauntlet shot at him. If successful, the Aether portion of this challenge is complete. The souls of the family will release and spread across the map into 4 items to collect. They are Tasty Face on the lower bunk, Junior's Fun Face at the top of the stairs in the barn, Ma's Chalice in the basement tub, and Pa's Pig Sticker in the garage. This upcoming challenge can be a bit difficult, especially solo. Place the items in order starting from the barn, working back towards the garage. This is because whichever item you place last is the one you'll need to interact with to begin the challenge. To prepare, buy 1 Monkey Bomb to help with the start, and although I forgot here, I'd recommend swapping to and charging Frenzied Guard for even more crowd control. Calling Klaus for support in the farmhouse, then immediately drop out and interact with the last placed item to begin the challenge, a 75-second multi-object defense. Immediately prep your Monkey Bomb, then shortly after Klaus arrives, throw it down so it doesn't get replaced with the Klaus controller. Defend the items by playing between them with a packed gauntlet and using whatever health is available. Activating the Sawblade trap can help defend that side by the barn. Most of your focus should be on the center and the item beyond the truck, as that one can pile up pretty quickly and is a little bit more out of sight. Molotovs are also a great grenade, which can help clear out areas while you focus your attention elsewhere. Do be careful if a Xersa decides to spawn and make things super difficult. This challenge is not over until it's over, so dump everything you have to handle it. Again, Frenzied Guard is heavily recommended. I was quite fortunate to not get punished for it. If you do fail the challenge, one of the items will turn red. You will have to run over, interact, and farm zombie souls to bring it back up to the gold status to commence the challenge once again. Before beginning the final challenge, acquire the remaining recommended perk set of Stamina Up, Speed Cola, and Melee Macchiato, the last of which is actually required. The final challenge is at Exit 115, requiring at least 2 Aether Charges. You'll see why. As you collect your first Aether Charge and travel to Exit 115, note whether or not lightning is currently striking at the location. If not, you'll have to perform this extra step. As you arrive at Exit 115, there will be 3 unlit lampposts: the Ashwood post, the corner post, and the Zarya post. On non-lightning rounds, one of these 3 posts will start off sparking blue. Using the DG2 turret, shoot the sparking lamppost, with success indicated by the post holding a charge. One of the 2 remaining unlit posts will now pick up the sparks. Shoot that one, and then the third, to summon lightning. Lightning can only appear or be summoned once per round, and it will disappear if your round flips. Once lightning is striking, claim an Aether Charge. Return to Exit 115 with the charge, make sure that the service station has been opened, and summon Klaus for 2,000 essence. As Klaus arrives, shoot the clock above the service station with the gauntlet to freeze time and the lightning. You now need to wake up 3 zombies across Exit 115. For the trucker, hop into Tessie and drive into the back of the trailer. An orb will float into the body and animate it. For the mechanic, direct Klaus next to the body. He will perform a slam attack when in range, noted by his voice line, reviving the body. For the waitress, use a Melee Macchiato punch to open the cash register. Return to the mechanic to wake him up by standing in proximity, then head onto the roof. You now have to match each zombie with its lightning strike. The mechanic goes above the service station, the trucker above the gas station, and the waitress above the diner. You likely won't have enough time to do this in one go, so match as many as you can. When your lightning times out, flip the round to re-enable the shocked posts. Activate another lightning, then return to Ashwood for another Clocktower blast and Aether Charge. Since you've already reanimated the bodies once, you won't have to do so a second time. Shoot the clock to freeze time, then return to any remaining zombies to reanimate them, before guiding them up to their lightning strike for deposit. The challenge will complete sometimes before the timer ends. If your lightning timer ends before all of your zombies have been placed, remaining reanimated zombies may have a ton of health, but they can be very quickly eliminated by using a beam attack from Tessie. And that's the first 3 soul tasks done. The final soul task is now available at Blackwater Lake. Claim an Aether Charge, then drive over. Out back on the dock will be a Wisp. Interact to reveal the final challenge. Inside, the projector has gone haywire. Shoot it with the gauntlet to play 4 slides in a row. The images are the shed, the boathouse, the back of the house, and the front of the house. These slides will play in a random order. You need to find and shoot the film reel at each location in the correct order. The shed reel is in the room with the fumigator. The boathouse reel is up in the rafters. The back house reel is under the deck by the ammo crate. And the front house reel is above the power switch. On success, an item will be available in the bedroom to interact with. On failure, you'll be jump scared and will have to collect another Aether Charge to try again. Call Klaus from the radio at the back of the house and direct him up to the bedroom to claim the item found there, after you've already interacted with it once. He will then walk out to the back, where he will remain and become interactable himself. I recommend buying monkey bombs from the crafting bench to prepare for the boss fight. The truly final task to enter the boss fight is Wisp Collection. Interact with Klaus, then get back into Tessie and drive up to the exit towards Janus Towers. After a moment, Wisps will enter the fog zones on the north side of the map. Start by driving from Blackwater to Janus Towers, beginning when you see the first Wisp land in front of you. The pattern for the forest section goes right, left, then a tight right. You'll get confirmation of hitting these Wisps by a white orb following you and entering the truck. Boost through Janus Towers, then the pattern for the collapsed tower is pretty much right up the middle. Be sure to prioritize the yellow plants as well to retain health. After the farm, the pattern for the grounded ship takes you up the hill to the right, then an immediate break and right turn to claim the other 2 on the ship. turn around to go from Ashwood back towards Blackwater, with the final pattern being middle, left, then middle. On success, you'll be teleported into the pyramid. Look up to begin. Welcome to the boss fight. Meet Veytharion, the residential meaty Beyblade. On start, you'll be teleported into the truck, which is ideally where we will exist for the vast majority of this fight. The primary way to damage Veytharion is by ramming into him with Tessie. Boosting into him will deal an extra 40% damage. Critical zones will gradually reveal after multiple hits on the same head, and striking a critical zone will deal double damage. Across the arena are the yellow plants from the main map. Hit them whenever you have any damage on the truck. Veytharion's missile attack can pile on quick, so health is the main priority. At around 90% health, Veytharion will begin to spin. Be careful of his attacks as you wait for him to settle. When he's in range to be hit, drive into him to kick off a little shard. Drive to pick up the shard, then drive it back into him to stun him. Park the car atop the central mound, then get out and spam the critical spot on the underside with the gauntlet to deal extra damage. You can also use the recall feature of the gauntlet to gain more health during this. Find the next shard and repeat as many times as needed to break through this phase. Phase 2 features a bit more aggression and a new zombie spawn attack. If Tessie is ever fully destroyed, immediately throw a monkey bomb to distract the Hoard. You may also need to use Aether Shroud, but that will be a bit more circumstantial. Continue to cycle between boss hits and heals, circling if he ever leaves the center. Once again, the critical zones on the side will greatly increase the pace of the fight. At about 40% health, Veytharion will return to Beyblade form. Continue the same attack pattern as prior, crashing the shard into him and hopping out to deal bonus damage. At this point, Quick Revive's Dying Wish procced from being a little greedy with my gameplay, so now's the time to be extra safe. Another Monkey Bomb to facilitate repairs, and we're back in action. Phase 2 will complete around 30% health. Phase 3 features another new attack, the Laser Beam. The laser attack deals devastating damage if allowed to go off, and is very difficult to dodge. To interrupt it, perform a boost attack into Veytharion. Normal, non-boosted impacts will not cancel the channel. If you're ever in position ahead of your boost being ready, I recommend you wait for it to come up. If the laser does go off, I recommend boosting away, possibly beneath Veytharion to make the angle most awkward for him. Reportedly, you can also hide behind some of the pillars to create a barrier. When Veytharion reaches about 10% health, he will return to Beyblade form one final time. Reiterate the shard stun damage process again, while continuing to prioritize Tessie's HP. Based on time, you'll likely only get a single gauntlet magazine off in time between stuns. This final phase just barely took me 3 strikes, with the final fall coming after just a single hit. Stay alive for a couple more seconds, and you'll earn the Dust to Dust achievement. After the final cutscene, you'll be deposited back at Blackwater Lake. Out beyond the dock is a mysterious object. Interacting with this object will unlock relics in Cursed mode. You don't have to do this, as Treyarch realized that if you forgot to do this, it would be a pretty painful punishment, so they unlock it for you regardless. But it's available anyways. And that's Ashes. Sorry for this being so late. I do kind of have like 3 different jobs or like things I'm doing at the moment, so pretty busy. We'll see what kind of other content I make beyond guides, but next up, Astra Malorum.